Hey everyone, Materialistic here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about the human condition, part 4, narcissism matrix. Now this is a whole playlist series, so if you have not watched part 1 yet, please go ahead and do so. So in part 1, I was talking about the human condition, which is very related to what I'm about to speak now. I want you to understand what the matrix really is in regards to narcissism. There is 2 parts of our life here on planet Earth. There's God and there's the devil. There's light and there's dark. There's the matrix and then there's freedom. Now, most of us, I would say 100% of the world, was born into the matrix right away. Because of society's rules, parental abuse, cycles of life in general. Everybody went through this. Everybody's still going through this. But the devil created the matrix, whether you want to believe that or not. Most people are still stuck in the matrix, literally. So what is the matrix? The matrix is when external people have a hold and control over you, which could be family, boss, relationships, false obligations, media, the news, war, and so forth. Now, we were born on planet Earth to discern and remember who we are as a true self, and continue on living our path before death as a true self. God asked us not to be attached to materialistic things, and you all know that. But most of you watching this video are extremely attached to materialism. And I'm not just talking about objects, I'm talking about body, people addicted, social media, news, the future, an outcome, money, situations. When you have become attached to the matrix, you slowly start to lose your sense of self, which is the soul. And that's exactly where the devil wants you to be, stuck in the matrix. Now this video is so important, so please pay attention so this knowledge can really sink in. I need you to understand what's going on with you. This is to save your soul and remember who you are. So matrix is the #1 hater's way of controlling you. The narcissist, the devil himself, created so many demons who are now controlling, because they have no control over anything unless you allow yourself to be controlled by the illusion. See, most people don't know what the false self and what the true self is, and that's what I spoke about part 2 of this series. So once you can discern between the false self and the true self, you can actually see how the matrix is a ginormous false self-illusion. And nobody in the matrix can control you when you could see their false self. The false self is an ego identity. Notice how everybody argues over politics or wars or who looks better than who on social media, or argues about their life situation. If you disagree with them, if you disagree with their ego, there's going to be an argument. The ego needs to stay alive. The devil has a strong hold on most people on planet Earth. Delusionalized everybody with materialistic things, addictions, living in the future in their head, fearing what's next, fearing the unknown, fearing to leave a job or a situation or relationship that's really not good for them. Since most people are a false self stuck in the matrix, they can't get out of these situations because they truly believe that the situation will naturally change on its own. But if most people are following the egoic sense of self, which is the false self, the devil's illusions, how do you expect these situations or things to dissolve and become better? They won't. That's why you need to discern between the false self and the true self and go within to get out of the matrix. See, the matrix is when you repeat these loops on a daily basis, where you have the exact same conversations every day, where you live on repeat, like literally a nightmare in hell, and you don't even realize it because you think, this is my life, this is what I have to do, this is what I was born to be. Nobody takes the time to actually question who they really are and what they want to do in this lifetime. As a matter of fact, notice how people are becoming worse by the month. By the month. Becoming more ignorant, toxic, literally stupid. Everybody is enabling this awful identity crisis that everybody's having. This racism crap. This war stuff from country to country. Somebody wrote to me today, imagine how Palestine feels on a daily basis. As if I don't know that. But I received that comment because I'm Jewish here on planet Earth. Right? Now, the devil created a really strong hold on people through governments, presidents, fake news, and even if the news is not fake, it's still extremely false and negative. And the reason that I say false is because it's false identity based. Everything that is being showcased through government, through social media, through the matrix is false self stuff. Everything is false self stuff. Everything is created by the number one hater. So you can constantly focus on all the negative things in this lifetime. So you can be fear-based. So you will never be present and get to actually enjoy life as you were meant to. Everybody's chasing the next thing. Chasing euphoria, addictions, people pleasing, people obsessing. Right? Believing stuff on the news and putting themselves through so much stress and anxiety and fear. Things that are not even happening to them. They are allowing themselves to sit there and dwell over in their mind, which is the false self. And then here you go, the cycle just keeps repeating itself. Right? If you get out of the matrix and you start being present, you will notice how everybody's literally repeating loops. Everybody's moving like some sort of programmed robot. I spoke about this in the glitches video. Glitches of planet Earth. Okay? Now, the matrix is the narcissist. The matrix is the narcissist. Wake up. If you're stuck in the matrix, you're stuck with narcissism, the false self. If you're repeating loops on a daily basis, you're repeating the devil's loops. Most people don't understand what I mean. Probably don't even believe what I'm saying. But if you are addicted to social media, if you're addicted to people's looks, if you're addicted to chasing a dollar, if you're addicted to some future outcome, if you're debating which country you like better or which president you like better or politician, you're stuck in the narcissist's loop. All these people are false selves. All these people are egoic, evil people. They have no intentions of actually making life better. The only intentions that they have is to keep you stuck on a loop. Keep you in control. Keep you from going within and becoming the true self, remembering who you are as source. Remembering who you are. So everybody's stuck in the matrix. Most people become narcissists if they stay in the matrix for too long. They literally start losing their sense of self, and they become bitter and angry and worried, and they have hatred. Oh, how was I born into this world and I'm still suffering? Because the devil wants to remind you that you suck, that you are nobody. But did you notice how the devil has a strong hold on you? It's because he wants something from you. And because he wants something from you, he'll create more distractions, more screens, more social media, more, politics, more drama. Did you notice how things are just getting worse? Did you notice that? Oh, I'm winning, he says. I'm taking over, I'm taking control. Everybody's becoming so delusionalized and they believe my lies. They are so afraid. I got them. Let's create more problems. The devil feeds off of your fears. The devil feeds off of making you believe the lies. He's watching you repeating these circular loops, and he's enjoying every moment of it. Like, wow, these people don't know how to be present. These people don't know God. These people are forgetting the Lord. These people are having sex, popping babies, changing identities, teaching little kids in school about being transgender at such a young age. Amazing! The human cells in the brain don't even know how to function that well as a child. And they're already brainwashing. The devil is brainwashing children to forget their identity. Screw the body. He's making them forget the true sense of self, what's inside the body. The essence, the soul, eternal soul. Everybody's so stuck and consumed in social media, the news, looks. Everybody forgot that, hey, I came here to be the best version of myself. I'm not here to follow anybody's rules. I'm not here to be a follower. I'm not here to look like everybody else. Everybody looks the same now. Everybody has the same looks, the same personality, which is a very stupid, idiotic, low self-esteem, paranoid type personality. Notice that. Everybody's arguing over the stupidest things. Oh, they didn't validate my ego. Let me go against that. Let me argue my way in there. It's funny because you're actually soul in human form. All these things are temporary and they're illusions, but people have attached themselves to the illusion. You understand? We came here not to be attached, but everybody now is attached. Just like the false self, the devil, attached. Attached to everything that's external. So many people stay in the same job or do the exact same thing for years and years and years, waiting to retire. Waiting for some narcissistic boss to tell them, hey, Gucci, you're 72 years old now, you're 65 now, sweet, get out. I sucked your whole life from you. You have a huge egoic sense of self. You feel miserable. You were never happy a day in your life. You don't even know who you are. And guess what? You're going to die soon and you're going to have a grave. Whether it's a big grave or a tiny grave because you didn't have enough money for it. When you are the true sense of self, you're not addicted or attached to anything. Life is an experience. You don't follow people's rules, you follow your own rules. As long as you don't hurt anybody. You're not attached to people or outcomes because you are existing, witnessing life, enjoying life, breathing the air, the fresh breeze, thanking God every day that you can breathe. Who does that? Nobody. Everybody's, oh my God, what's next? Oh my God, I didn't get this message. I didn't get this text back. Oh my God, what's next? What's next? So the devil created narcissism. Everything I'm talking about right now is narcissistic based, the false self based. And more people are becoming narcissistic, especially young quote unquote adults, because I can't even call them adults. And everybody's completely enabling it too. Oh, what'd you call me? I'm a man now. What'd you call me? That's not my name. I'm a man now, right? All this awful stuff that's happening on TV. Everybody gets offended over any little thing. Any little thing is offensive. You can't even speak anymore. God forbid you talk about the truth. People will go in rage against you. Against the true self. But if you learn about the false self and the true self, the things that happen here won't affect you anymore because you know it's an illusion of the devil. All of it is a god darn illusion. Fear-based stuff. False self stuff. Egoic stuff. The true self lives in the now. The true self accepts what is. If something didn't go a certain type of way, it's fine. Because it's happening in the present moment. I can't control that. But no, people will go nuts. God must hate me if this didn't turn out. All egoic, narcissistic ways of being. Now, the reason that this title is Narcissism Matrix is because every single human being that's part of the matrix, that's controlling the matrix, is a narcissist. See, the narcissist does not have a true sense of self. So their agenda is to control everybody and get them on that same level. And he's doing a pretty good job at that. Everybody is always stressing the presidents or the governments, right? Stressing over ridiculous things. Instead of actually not caring about this false self BS and just enjoying life for themselves. The matrix is a false self, you guys. And you will never understand what I'm saying until you actually go within and get out. Get out of the matrix. Sure, you can still have a job, but everything that's going on with your coworkers, with the job itself, with the boss, you gotta be the observer of the false self. When you live in the present moment with no mind, you can see the chaotic insanity that's happening around you without even questioning it anymore. It's not normal anymore. because you're present and you see it for what it is. People don't know who they are. They forgot their true sense of self. So now they're operating based on this false illusion of the mind and extremely addicted to materialism. They believe that, okay, I came here to do all these things and that's all I'm here to do. I'm a giant program. And I'm going to follow these rules because, well, why else am I here? You are here to remember who you are as a whole and get out of the matrix. Okay? So if you have obligations in the matrix, because right now you're getting out of these loops for the very first time in your life, it's a very hard transition, very painful. At least you will have the knowledge of the false self and the true self to discern and stop reacting to all the false self stuff that's happening. Stop giving it power. Stop being part of it. Stop enabling it. The devil does not have power over you when you know who you are, the true self. The devil is afraid of the true self. He just does a really good job at instilling fear into people because of the mind. The devil uses everybody's mind to control them. The mind is the muscle of the body. But we are not the body. We have a body, but we are soul, awareness, consciousness. If you believe that the matrix is how life is, then clearly you don't see how sick it is to repeat cycles. If you believe that you were born on planet Earth to suffer and then die, then you have given up on the true self. We can't sit here and be victims our whole life and keep reenacting the exact same things, expecting them to change. It's called living in a loop. The reason that I say in my video here today that you have to detach from materialism, you have to detach, stop being so addicted to these things that you will one day not have. And matter of fact, you still don't have these things. Nothing belongs to you. This is all just an experience. So chasing after something or worrying about something is an illusion. Whatever needs to work out will eventually work out anyway. And if it doesn't work out, it was not meant to be. When you finally release attachment to this physical world, you will be free. You will understand who you are. But when you are attached to what the government is saying, these ridiculous diseases and the news, these wars, these programmings, right? Who's doing better than who at work? What kind of degree you have to have, right? In order to be somebody here on planet Earth, right? Who needs to get married or have kids? Or, oh, let me spend all this money and change my identity to get, external validation from people. That I did it. That I'm somewhat a survivor. They call themselves brave. People are brave for changing their entire identity. And I'm not ashamed to say this. Keep going against God. You will lose yourself. You think you lost yourself now. Nobody does the inner work to figure out what this means. Inner work is going completely within, without the body. without the mind, without materialistic things. Control dynamics of the matrix. Go within, you will find yourself, and none of these things will matter anymore. You are infinite and eternal forever. This is all an illusion. And if you're going to attach yourself to these things, you're going to lose yourself forever. It's really sad that people, instead of remembering their uniqueness at birth, now they want to be like everyone else. Everybody is following social media to figure out who they are. Externally, not internally. Everything is external. External. False self-behavior. Matrix illusion. Narcissism. All over the place. What kind of president do we have that can't stand there in that giant microphone and say, hey, just go within and be happy? I don't need to control you. I don't need anybody to worship me. Satanic behavior. Nobody needs to worship anybody. And you don't even worship yourself. You just exist. So if you don't understand by now, as clear as I tried to make this, the matrix is narcissism. Every single thing about it is narcissism. And when I say narcissism, I mean false self. False self. None of these things that are happening is true self behavior. None. The conversations that people are having, they're very egoic. All of them are mind-based. All of them are program-based. Memories, attachments to things, attachments to what they've been through or what happened to them, or this idea of what they believe that their job is. Government control. Fear-based news. Always fear-based. Always, always, always. Suffer. Be scared. Don't be present. Think about this. People in Hollywood, wear this, do this, change your face to look like me. Oh, let's go against this country. Who's winning? Sitting at a bar, drinking mad beers, watching war on TV. The true sense of self is peace, it's calm, it's love, it's joy, it's inner stillness. There's no such thing as wanting to change exterior looks or change other people externally or control anybody or be dominant over anybody. Or repeating freaking loops. The true sense of self lives day by day, creating its own reality as a being having a human experience. Whether you want to believe that or not, it's a fact. You can only get there after you go within. If you live in the matrix and you're stuck on these loops, you will never understand. Because you are living somebody else's reality, the false self reality. You came here to enjoy life. Literally, live life. Live life. Like I said earlier, 90% of humanity is stuck on their phone, on a tablet, on some social media. Can't put the phone down. They're living in a freaking screen. Okay? Get out of the matrix. Learn how to be still with yourself in a quiet room. Learn how to stop being addicted to people and outcomes. Learn how to detach from materialistic things. You can enjoy them. You don't need to attach yourself to them like the narcissists do. False self-behavior. Stop watching the news. See how your life goes. See, you are the creator of your own life, literally. So if you're going to constantly listen to external people on how to live your life, and I'm not talking about me, because I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just telling you to go within. Go within. But if that's not something you want to do, that's fine. My goal is to show you that you're living under a lie. The narcissist's lie. The devil's lie. Because that's not life. It's not life. It's not the full potential of life. It's not even life itself. It's stressing and doing the exact same thing on a daily basis. And completely selling yourself to it. Well, yeah, I'm going to do that for the rest of my life, and then I'm going to just die. Now, like I said earlier, people are repeating awful loops that are becoming worse because the devil has a huge stronghold on everybody. Everybody. People can't even speak because all the horrible things that are illusionary and toxic and traumatic, now people have to keep their mouths shut and let it happen. Because God forbid you say something, somebody will get offended. Offended. Everybody's offended. Just like the devil. What did you say to me? Huh? I don't have a true sense of self, so I'm going to get offended. And I'm going to blame you for making me feel like this. Right? People think that what's happening over here is like oh, I can speak now, I can be myself. Nobody even knows what being themselves is. They just copy and paste each other's ego. So start going within and get out of the matrix. And when I say get out of the matrix, I mean get out of the narcissist, the devil's loops of false self. Life is in the present moment. And when you finally get present, just look outside and see people. You will see their obsessive thinking just by looking at them. You will see their ego. You will see the fear. You will see the inconsistent, very distorted, body because they're so insecure. The insecurity comes from fear. Fear of being looked at a certain way. Fear of being judged. As a soul in human form, why are we afraid to live and be what we came here to be, ourselves? Everybody's ashamed of themselves, so they want to change their identity. They want to wear a certain type of outfit to get external people's validation. Government stuff. Told you to do it, now you're going to do it because you believe that that's how you're going to be accepted. Everybody here was born unique. Everybody here was born whole. But nobody remembers that. Can you imagine living a life where you're constantly chasing to be something that you're not, and you're always so miserable inside and you're afraid, and you live in some sort of illusion, social media? God forbid they turn off internet one day. I can't even imagine what's going to happen over here. The mind is distorted. Nobody can even enjoy a second of solitude, because nobody really knows how to do that. Every second is fear. Every second is living in the future. Every second is chasing some sort of external validation. Something didn't happen the way that you wanted it to happen. Now there's a fight within you, in your mind, and external people. Like I said, it's all an illusion. You need to understand what I'm saying. See, I wrote a lot of things here. I don't know if I even mentioned it. So let's just go over this. The devil, material-based, fear-based, future-oriented, government-controlled, always instilling fear, guilt, shame, always looking for instant gratification, war, fake news, false self, garbage, identity change, abuse, enabling toxicity, repeating daily cycles, people pleasing, egoic arguments. I guess I did cover everything that I wanted to talk about. But I really want you to understand the false self is everything I just said. And most people live like that. If you're standing there arguing in the kitchen over stupid things, you're operating from ego. You're operating from mind. You're operating from fear, from shame, from guilt, from blame shifting. The true self never needs to argue over anything, because the true self is not addicted or attached to anything or anyone. The true self is the awareness of the human condition, the awareness of the false self. And as soul in human form, watching all these things, observing these things, you just remain calm because you see the human condition. So please go do listen to the human condition, part 1. I'll see you guys on the next mental health series. Start observing the matrix. Get out of the loops and understand the difference between the false self and the true self, because you will not agree with me on a lot of things that I said, but it's because your ego is disagreeing with the true self. The soul. This has nothing to do with the physical form. Nothing.